Hello, everyone, and welcome to Retro Fandango, episode number 193. I am Kevin, here with my buddy Richard. We have
Hello.
nicknames, but they're there on the screen. And if you're not watching, then you don't know what our nicknames are.
Where is the sauce? You got the reminders.
He's probably busy. It's a Saturday. He's busy watching those Wisconsin sports teams. You know how important those things are.
Who needs them?
This month, got some updates here doing the house cleaning. This month, Cartridge Club is playing Spyro the Dragon.
Ooh, is that the first one?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's their
Spyro the Dragon is the very first game I ever played on PlayStation.
And was it good?
It was a demo disc. When I got my PS1, I had a little demo disc, and I put it in. It was the first time I ever played like a 3D game.
Oh, okay.
So I put that in, and I was like, "Wow, I can go into the distance." I'm on the Z-axis.
Wasn't Spyro a little later release on the?
Well, I didn't get it right away. I won a PS1 in a raffle.
Oh.
So it was just that's the thing it came with. It had a little demo disc, and I was like, "Ooh, look at this fancy new stuff." I remember seeing Super Mario 64 on the news. That was big news at the time.
Right.
Like, wow, look at that. You can go
well,
three directions now.
I didn't buy a PlayStation 1 until 2010. I had a PlayStation 2. I was in Sudbury, in my hometown of Sudbury at the time, and I just got a PlayStation 2, and I found a bunch of PlayStation 1 games for cheap, so I picked them up, and then I realized it's going to be like a week before we go back home, so I'm not going to be able to test out any of these games, and because it was at a hawk shop, right? And I won't be able to make sure that they work before I go back home. So they had a PlayStation 1 there for $10 with 2 controllers and memory card.
I said, what the heck?
Good. So I got them and tested out all my games, and that's the PlayStation 1 I still have.
Nice. But you never really use it, right?
No, if I'm going to play PlayStation 1 games, 99.9% of the time it's going to be on the PlayStation 3, maybe on the PlayStation 2, or just emulate it.
But how often are you going to play a PlayStation game?
I mean, the last one I played was Metal Gear Solid, and then when the Cartridge Club did it, I ended up playing it on the PC. So there you go. Hey, we got Mrs. Q-Dog here.
Melissa.
One person here. Right on. Well, we better get to it because she's probably going to have to cook supper in like 5 minutes or something. So, you have to play Spyro.
You got to play Spyro.
Look, it's on sale on the PlayStation, but I want it on sale for something better like the Xbox or PC. They're on sale.
Did they put that original Spyro onto other consoles? Because I know later Spyro games were available everywhere. They
came out with a trilogy, right? Mm-hmm. Like a remastered trilogy of the first 3 PlayStation games, and you can get that on anything. Switch, PC,
PC.
Xbox. Yep. Or
is that right?
PlayStation. Yep.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm gonna test your theory here.
It's on Steam. I looked it up because I saw it was on sale on PlayStation, or someone tweeted it out.
Wow, that's what you say. But we got regions to consider.
Oh yeah, that's right. While you're checking out your regions.
Oh wow, look at that! Look at you. All right, you get a point.
Is it going on the wish list?
Well, it's not on sale.
But on the wish list.
On the wish list.
Let's see if we can get it on the wish list.
I don't know.
Hey, look at this. We got Toku Joe now coming in because Eric's sitting beside Melissa. We got Toku Joe. Look at that.
If I buy the Spyro and Crash Remastered game bundle, I do save 8%.
Well, I'd wait for it to go on sale.
Well, yeah, because saving 8% is still almost $100.
What? $100? Oh my goodness.
How much? Well, that's for the two, Spyro and Crash. Spyro on its own,
I
Spyro
see.
Reignited Trilogy is over $50.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's like $54 here on Steam. Yeah, no, I'd wait for it to go on a real sale.
Oh yes.
Speaking of
I don't
games,
buy Steam games unless they're a significant percentage off.
speaking of games of the month, RF Gen is playing. They're playing a PlayStation 1 game as well. Something called Brave Fencer Masashi.
I used to have that. I
I've never
bought
heard
it.
of it.
I bought it for 100 yen or $1, and I played about, I don't know, 5 minutes of it,
What is
and
it?
then I sold it.
What is it? RPG?
I didn't get that far into it. I think it's some kind of action RPG. You play as like a little samurai guy, and I remember some of the enemies have guns,
Hmm.
and you got a sword, and you got to
Hmm.
hit them with your sword.
Oh, that sounds okay. I saw the title and I thought one of those strategy games.
There may be more RPG elements to it later on, but I remember walking from the left to the right and cutting people with my sword. It
Try
might
to
have been snowing,
copy and
if
paste it
that
so I can
helps you.
look it up. My goodness. Let's see here. There's a long play for 3 hours.
Ooh.
We can just watch that for the next hour and a half, and there's a show for you. There's an episode.
Hey, look at us helping
Hmm.
people out.
Let's share this screen. There you go. You probably can't hear it, right?
Yeah, that's the one I'm thinking of.
Let's see here. What do you do in this game? Oh, you look at load screens. Yeah, that's a PlayStation 1 game, right?
Oh, it's like a 2.5 3D.
Get some gameplay here.
Yeah, talking. Oh gosh, menus. He's pogoing like
Oh
Uncle
my!
Scrooge.
I gotta turn this down. It's way too loud.
Yeah. I can't hear anything.
Yeah, I can barely hear you.
No, I mean I cannot hear the game at all.
Yeah,
All
I
I hear
know.
is you.
Okay, here we go. Here's
Oh.
some gameplay. Oh, he just went. Come on. Another load screen. I bet your PlayStation 1 games were not that long. They were just load screens. It's like
50% load screen.
Yeah, but 8-hour games actually took you 4 hours to complete. It's just 4 hours of load screen. Wow.
Well,
More
look at
load
that. Yeah,
screen.
he ran around a corner.
I know this is great audio for people listening in their cars right now, but you can imagine.
Well, the game looks a little fun though. I should have given it more time. The only thing, this is what bothers me though. The load screens I can handle. All the constant talking and menus and just.
Yeah, when does he like fight
Around.
dudes? Oh, he's getting some coins here.
You got to get there first.
Up. Oh yeah, no, that's not frustrating at
What's
all.
your favorite platforming? I bet you just can't go up there. Oh, he did it.
Look how he's hugging that wall too at the back, right? He does not want to fall off that.
And he just went down the front.
Found a friend.
Talk.
I swear, I'm trying to find some action here.
You're looking for a boss fight. I think that's the game. You know, a lot of
Just run around,
platforming,
talk.
and then platforming and slashing up the occasional person. Was that like a robot?
Oh my goodness! Wow, this game looks boring. Oh, here we go. Here's a boss fight. This is dead air for anyone listening. We're just sitting here watching.
It kind of looks like a hyped up xenomorph.
I guess, yeah.
And he's in a hole and he's cutting it with his sword. Do you have to like
Okay.
knock that thing on his head or something? There you go. Ooh.
Okay. Doesn't look that interesting.
It looks like one of those PlayStation games that's just very start and stop. Like I'm
Mm-hmm.
doing something, now I gotta wait. I'm doing something, now I gotta wait.
I don't know. It might be great. I'll have to listen to the podcast to find out.
It's I believe it was a pretty hot seller. That's why I was able to find it for only $1.
I've honestly never heard of it.
I I doubt you'll ever play it.
Beat the Bandy challenge / Beat the Duke challenge this month is the Wrecking Crew, or just Wrecking Crew.
You know?
That's the reaction we get from Richard. Just that. Eh? No.
I was just trying to think: is Wrecking Crew, does that star Wario or Mario, or is it some other character?
I think it's supposed to be Mario.
Eh.
It's black. What do they call it? Black Label. You know those
Yeah,
first
you go up the
round of
ladder,
Nintendo.
you hit the
Yeah,
wall with the hammer.
yeah, yeah. I've never played it.
I thought I remembered some little trivia bit about how that's a
It's
different
not
character. I
actually Mario.
assumed it was Mario, but get ready for some more dead air, people.
What do I have to cover with while he looks that up?
Wrecking Crew.
I got nothing.
Video game.
Forza Horizon 5's coming out, and I'm excited. That's it. I haven't been excited for a video game in a very long time.
It's Mario or Luigi.
Well, there wouldn't be any Wario yet, right? He was
Right,
created
that's
later for like the Game
I
Boy.
guess I don't know. I don't
Game,
remember these things
he was
anymore.
he spawned from Mario Land, right? Super Mario Land 2 or
Who knows? I did wake up just a few minutes before we started. Not quite up to speed yet.
let's see. Even Horizon Zero Dawn on PS4 had really long load screens. Yeah, it's a PlayStation. That's their thing. Long load screens. That's their thing.
Mm-hmm. My favorite load screens were from the X-Men Legends games because they would put a picture of a superhero up there. I'm like, hey, I'm looking at Wolverine while I'm not playing.
The Bayonetta ones are pretty good because you could like do the moves while the game was loading. You could try it like if you bought a new move and then like you can try like getting it right.
Well, that was by 360 PS3 days, so they had a little more they could do with load screens.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, look at this. Eric's excited for Forza 5 as well. He bought 4, so he's ready for 5. You don't have to play them in order. They're just racing games. Just go nuts. Have fun.
You can stick them on the shelf.
People. I get it. You know, like if you like, I want to get into this series, I want to start at the first one and go through it. But then when you like get to like the second game or the third game and it's not speaking to you, and then you're just stuck, like you won't enjoy the rest of the series because you're hung up on like the third game or something. It's like just drop it. It's okay. You don't have to play the third one. Like just go on to the fourth one or whatever. You know.
I'm curious to do that with the Mission Impossible movies because I hear good things about the newer ones and that they're better than the original ones.
Yeah.
So I was like, can I skip those 1, 2, and 3 and just go into the ones where they start giving them subtitles without numbers?
Well, I
have to watch them in a certain order.
I was on Bill's show, the previous episode of Bill's show, The Collectors, and I got a shellacking for saying that the Mission Impossible movies were bad because I only watched the first 2, and apparently you're not supposed to do that. You're supposed to watch from 3 and on. I'm like,
I heard that 2 is the worst one.
Well, the first one wasn't that great either. It was kind of stupid too.
I haven't seen any of them.
I don't know. So apparently you're supposed to start at 3 and start watching from there. Like, I don't know. I watched the first one and I thought it was dumb. And then the second movie comes out and it's in theaters, right? And they're like, people come back from watching it and they're like, oh, it was the greatest. It was so awesome. You got to watch Mission Impossible 2. I'm like, okay, well, when it comes out on video, I'll watch it. That's how long ago this was. Back when movies came out on video. They're like, no, you got to go to the theater and see it. It's that good. Like, I'm not gonna pay money to go see Mission Impossible 2 and 3. No, you have to. And so they literally dragged me to the theater to watch this Mission Impossible 2. And I'm like, okay, I'll keep an open mind. I started watching. I thought it was the dumbest movie I've ever seen. Well, at the time, yeah, it was the dumbest.
I saw like 5 minutes of it somewhere in the beginning or the middle or whatever. I remember him hiding in a bathtub.
Yes. Was that no? Was that?
That's all I don't know. Maybe it was a different movie. I remember Tom Cruise laying in a bathtub.
No, that's
and in the trailer there was motorcycles. That's what I know about Mission Impossible 2. John Woo. Wasn't it John Woo? The movie
where he's hiding in the bathtub is Minority Report.
No. I saw Minority Report, and that sucked. I don't remember any bathtubs.
He hides in the bathtub in Minority Report.
Does he hide in the bathtub in Minority Report while wearing a suit? Because I'm pretty sure he was wearing a suit.
I think he might be, because it's the bad guys caught him. Like,
to the Wikipedias.
I got nothing left to cover your researches.
I will talk as I type. Don't worry. Does Tom Cruise hide in a bathtub in Minority
yes, he does.
Report or Mission Impossible Deuce?
What a cover, man. You aced that.
Hey?
Jack Reacher has a scene where he's hiding in a tub. Maybe that's his thing.
Is that just part of his contract? We gotta have a scene where I hide in a tub.
Well,
he's some Scientology thing.
He's short enough to fit in those tubs. He doesn't even have to stand up.
Tom Cruise hides in bathtub movie.
Yeah, because it was these little robots that could track your life signs. So he went underneath the water so they wouldn't be able to find him.
I want to say that also happened in Mission Impossible too.
There's little robots looking for Tom Cruise.
I have no idea what those movies are about. I haven't seen them. Are there robots in Mission Impossible too? It sounds like there would be robots in Mission Impossible movie.
He definitely rides a motorcycle into, and he walks through. There's like a gateway, and he walks through, and there's like this glowing light behind him as he walks through it, and then doves go flying everywhere, like he is the second coming of Jesus.
Well, that sounds fantastic. They went through all the trouble to set that up, and you can't appreciate that.
That is the moment where I wanted to leave. I wanted to walk out. I've never walked out of the theater while watching a movie, but the two movies that I wanted to walk out was Mission Impossible 2, but I couldn't because my ride was in the theater, and that Batman and Robin movie. It was so bad, but I felt so bad because I was the one that really wanted to see it, and I was like, I just sat there and took my medicine.
What a shame! It took me a long time to watch that movie.
Or was it? It was the third one. What's the third Batman?
Third one's Val Kilmer.
Yeah, that's
and the
one.
Riddler. Oh, okay. Batman and Robin is the one that has Batman and Robin. That's the Schwarzenegger, George Clooney, Bat Credit Card.
But Robin's in the third one. That was the whole movie.
Yeah.
I was so dumb because you knew that Batman and Robin were going to get together, and they dragged that out throughout the entire movie.
Anything.
I hate it when they do that.
Don't they do that with all the superhero movies too? Or they always have to fight first? You get together and like, punch, kick, and then okay, now we're gonna be a team.
But with Batman and Robin, you already knew he was going to be Robin. Like there was just nothing. Like just get to it. Go to him. Make him Robin. We don't need the whole build up. Everybody knows Batman and Robin.
Yeah. Well, it's the same with all these anything.
Well, I don't know.
All superheroes have to fight when they first team up, and then they learn to be friends.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Okay. What do you want to say about Costco? Let's start this show. Let's do it. I didn't even know you had Costco over there.
Isn't that amazing? I did know that we had Costco here for a long time. Costco's been around for a bit, but it's always been inaccessible. You know, there aren't too many locations, and it's always been, it's too far. You know, years ago we didn't have a car, so it didn't make sense to go there. And we got a car, and it's like, we still got to drive on the highway to another prefecture. So finally, in April of this year, one opened relatively close, still about a 40-minute drive to get there. But I was really excited because I wanted to go to Costco. They got stuff there that I cannot get anywhere else. I wanted to look around. I wanted to see giant packages of food. I wanted to push around a giant shopping cart.
I want to see giant packages of food, damn it.
Yes, it's like going to mini America. So,
True,
I mean,
yeah.
you know, April it opened up, but because of pandemic shenanigans and stuff, we thought we should wait, pick a good time. I was like, all right, let's head out there. Let's finally go check it out. So I went out there, signed up, because you can't go in unless you get a membership.
That's right.
I was like, yeah, but I'm determined. I want to go in, and there's probably stuff in there that I want to pick up, so go check it out. We finally went in, and now I got my card, and I'm living the white trash paradise, going to Costco, picking up big bags of tortilla chips. I'm happy. I'm very happy. I was so excited to go because it's just like I said, it's like going to mini America, and I was looking forward to that feeling of losing where I am, just kind of forgetting for a minute and being like, hey, this kind of feels like home. I was so excited. And there were tons of people there. I was surprised how many people were there. And as much as foreigners like to make fun of Americans and their big fat fatso ways, I saw plenty of people loading up their carts with cheap pies and donuts and stuffing their faces with hot dogs at the exit. It was nice.
Yeah, corporate America is going to make the whole world fat. They're not just going to stop at USA. It's going everywhere, man.
Oh yeah, and I was surprised though because a lot of the stuff that comes here, like McDonald's and things, I've heard a lot of people tell me. I believe the same thing. Is like the portion size just a little bit smaller. Make everything just a little bit smaller for the Japanese market. Costco, they don't mess around. Everything there was full sized. Everything was gigantic. You can buy big slices of pepperoni pizza and hot dogs and other things at their concession stand. And they sell all the big packages, and it's all just the standard Costco size. They had a pack of muffins that, you know, it's huge. It's like if I put two hands together, you know, trying to make a muffin. But you have to buy 2 packs of them to get 12 muffins that are going to expire in like 3 days. I can't buy it because I'm just not going to eat that much.
Yeah. I was saying, like we would buy those muffins only when my parents would here, so they could take half of them, and then you would eat like a half of one of those. Like you cut it in half, that would be enough. But
yeah, so it's the thing, you have to bring a few people or make an arrangement. Like, you know, I'll pick something up for you. We'll split it. But there are still some good things in there. I got a big jug of Canadian maple syrup.
Ooh,
yeah,
nice. Kirkland,
all natural.
Kirkland.
It's the Kirkland brand. It's like all natural, pure Canadian maple syrup.
Nice.
Yeah. There's just a bunch of stuff in there. A lot of stuff that normally I would not have access to. So for me, it's worth it.
Well, their electronics department in there was always aces, at least when I went there.
I have a feeling that the one that opened up near me is a little bit smaller than most Costco's. They do have some electronics, but it's not a very large section. But, you know, there's a couple of things. They had TVs and a couple of computers and
back in the day, you could return any product you wanted for any reason. Like that was part of the reason why you paid your membership. Yeah. So for a while there, people would go buy a computer. They're like, okay, I want the new computer because the Pentium 4 is out now. This Pentium 3 is no good. So you just go to Costco and say, yeah, I don't want this Pentium 3 anymore. They get their money back and then go put it towards the new Pentium 4.
Nice. I did notice that they had a big return counter there.
Well, I don't think you can do that anymore. They caught on to a few things and they stopped, a lot of it. But like, you actually have to have like a legit reason if you want to return stuff. But for a while there, you didn't need any reason to return anything. You could just return it for whatever. I mute my phone.
Who's calling
Popular
you?
guy. I'm a very popular guy.
Hmm.
I'll tell you who's calling me later.
Is it Riva?
My friend Reba, yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. I just had a lot of fun walking around Costco, and I plan on going back. And I might go back just to get a slice of pizza once in a while.
Big 40-minute drive to get to
Well,
the
here's the
Costco.
thing. It's 40 minutes to get there, but it's actually right on the way to work for me, one
Oh.
day a week. I 4 days a week I go to a campus that's very close by, and then one day a week I got to go to the far one. I got to take the highway, and I pass right by the Costco. It's right on
Oh.
the entrance to the highway, so it's easy enough for me just to stop in there, pick something up, head home.
Well, Sarah and I, we haven't gone to Costco in about 10 years. Like, we let our membership expire because we just don't have a big family. So it's not really worth it for us to get. We used to go there and load up on meat and that and put it in the freezer and, break up like like you get a big thing of chicken, and then you break them up, put 2 pieces of chicken in the Ziploc bags and put them in the freezer and all that. And then it's like, why are we doing this? Like, just to save a few pennies. And plus the Costco's here are insanely popular. Like, you cannot, like, you go to a Costco on a Sunday or Saturday or Sunday or Friday, Monday or a Tuesday or Wednesday, it doesn't matter. You go, people are parked out in the street to get into a Costco.
We had trouble finding a spot. We had to circle around for a bit, and I saw a lot of people doing the illegal parking, adding that like extra space at the end, and
Yeah.
it was nuts. But yeah, I'm not planning on going there all the time, but it does allow me to get things that otherwise I have no access to. So
Yeah.
it's fun for me. And occasionally I might want to dip in and get myself one of them giant pies or tarts or whatever they got there.
They have a lot of good stuff there. Like, their clothing and stuff would always, good
That
prices.
that I jumped right into because it's jackets and pants are okay, but it's so difficult to find t-shirts and socks and shoes that fit me here.
Yeah.
Because shirts, what I buy that should be my size, as soon as you put your arms above your head, whoop, your belly button sticks out. It's like the torso is cut several centimeters shorter. So I went right over to the clothing section and I found some nice Levi's products and I bought some shirts.
Did you ever watch King of the Hill? Are you a fan of that show?
Oh, I saw quite a bit of it. I haven't seen everything though.
Do you remember the Tom Petty character? He was Luann's boyfriend there for a while, and he wouldn't get a job. Hank Hill would be like, "Why don't you get a job?" And he's like, "I'm not getting a job because he's waiting on his settlement from when he slipped on pee-pee at the Costco."
I haven't seen that show in a while.
I just bought the first 6 seasons. I found it at the Mission Thrift, so they were like $6 a piece. I'm like, what the heck? Grab all those, because there is
how many seasons? How long did that show go on?
There was a lot more than what I just got. They just had the first 6 there, but I think it went on for like 13 years because it would.
My goodness.
Well, it would be like full seasons, right? Like, they would come back and they would do 10 episodes, and then it would go away for a while, and then they'd come back and do 10 more. So for a while there towards the end, but
that show was pretty consistent though.
Yeah, it was funny, man.
It definitely had its moments.
Did you find out what movie Tom Cruise hides in the bathtub?
No, I'm willing to believe that he does that in every movie now.
Every movie. Okay. All right. Let's move on. What's next? Tremors podcast.
Yeah, it's hang on, let me adjust it. I found the real name. It's Tremors Making Perfection.
That's a pretty good name.
Perfection. I did listen to the first episode. It dropped, as they say, yesterday. Eh. It's only half an hour. The big promotion thing was Michael Gross is hosting, so I imagined it's going to be Michael Gross sitting down and having conversations with other cast and crew. Michael Gross comes on and he reads an intro. Says, "Hey, I'm Michael Gross. We're going to go in depth on this Tremors, and you're going to hear from the cast and crew. So let's go to pre-recorded audio of cast member talking to somebody else." And then it goes to it was one of the writers, S.S. Wilson, I believe is his name.
Okay.
And he tells some stories, probably 60, 70, 80, 90% of them you've heard before on DVD extras and stuff like that. Maybe a few new details here and there, but mostly stuff we kind of heard before, and then fade out, come back to Michael Gross recording his ending, in some other studio in another part of the world. Join us next week. It's okay, but
oh, look at this. Curtis is in the chat. Wow.
Oh, my goodness.
First time, long time.
Well, we spoke about Tremors.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. Well, you got to rewind a bit, Curtis, because there's a Tremors podcast.
Yeah, it's not that good.
Well, it's too bad because that's what you would want. You'd want Michael Gross sitting there.
Yeah, it sounded like they were just going to get together and do some talking. Just have a conversation. I thought that would be great. But it just sounds like they've pieced together. Who knows when these other recordings were done? They might have just had this audio laying around and figured, like, what are we going to do with this? It didn't make it onto the Blu-ray extra pack. We got these extra little snippets. Oh, we'll throw them together in audio form and release them that way.
Nice. All right.
But it's still, I'll listen to all the ones that are coming up, just in case you get that nice new detail.
Well, let me know when Reba makes an appearance. My friend Reba.
So. From what you said, she doesn't want to have anything to do with that. So. That nonsense.
Yeah. She wants to bring her sitcom back.
She did have a sitcom for a while, didn't she?
Yeah, it was called Reba.
Reba.
Okay.
See, I got to keep bringing up the outline here. Now, kind of on the same vein, I finally watched. Oh my God, VHS
virus.
I don't believe you people. I can't believe this.
Growing. Creepy Josh. I watched one of his pickup videos and right into the VHS. I'm like, the VHS just keeps growing, man.
It's growing. Just they're trying to get in early. They're trying to get in before anybody else starts jacking these prices up. I'm like, all right, well, I can buy it. I can buy it.
Who's buying this? Everybody's streams movies. They can't even sell Blu-rays now. People stream movies. They don't want them. They're not buying VHS. I think these people are nuts.
That's the other thing I wanted to talk about is when you buy your movies at a thrift shop, you see Blu-rays, you see DVDs, and the DVDs are primarily kind of a set price, right? Everything's lumped in
right now
around about.
When I go to the thrift store, they used to price the Blu-rays a little more than the DVDs, but at my Mission Thrift, they just did away with all that and everything's $3. Doesn't matter what it is, $3. Sometimes you'll get like a collection, like it'll be like Mad Men season 1 or whatever, like those TV series or that. They might put them at $4 to $6, maybe.
Or like an anthology of movies.
Yeah, like if it says a TV series volume 1, they might put a few more dollars on it. But if it's just a straight up movie, or even if it's like a TV series that's just in a regular DVD case, $3 right across the board.
Because lately, over the past, what I feel has been like over the past year or so. Hey, Rocket Sauce is here now.
Oh, there you go.
I think you'd like my pickups. Weird stuff. Oscar's greatest moments. Oh my goodness.
71 to 91 has Jack Lemmon and Walter Matthau on the back. Couldn't resist for.
You know what Oscar's greatest moments is? Go to YouTube. When you feel
That's what I
like
was just gonna say.
remember that thing that happened? Click
I
YouTube.
bet you.
All right.
I bet you if we typed in Jack Lemmon, Walter Matthau, Oscars.
Absolutely, because that's what I did like a year ago when I was thinking about that.
Walter Matthau, Jack Lemmon, Oscars.
Is Mr. Jack Lemmon here today?
1988. There we go. Put that in there. Oh, look at that. Full screen and everything.
Yeah, it's probably going to be like HD.
Look at that. Yeah. There we go. Jack Lemmon laughing. Walter Matthau. Boom. There you go.
Mm-hmm. How much did that cost you, Kevin?
Nothing. Well, I guess it costs, if you want, it cost me my internet connection subscription fee.
Mm. Wow. How much space do you need to put that on your shelf?
Nothing. Zero. Zip. Gotcha. But he's happy. He's got something in his house that has a picture of Walter Matthau.
Hey, I can't complain because you know what I bought the other day? I bought a DVD. I bought
that. We found the exact video too.
I bought a copy of Resident Evil 2 Apocalypse.
Ooh. Which
I already have. But I bought it because I really like the covers of these Resident Evil movies.
Well, let's see.
I gotta stand up and get it then.
How do I do this?
Yo. All right, here's the one that I had. This is the Resident Evil Apocalypse. And it's got this like transparent thingy.
Yeah.
It's got a Mila Jovovich on it. And then it's just got, what's that thing? Nemesis?
Yep, that's right.
I don't know this.
That bridge, stuff. By the way, that's on that cover. That bridge, I can't remember the name of it.
There's a bridge in there?
Yeah, it's in the movie. That movie's filmed in Toronto. And that
of
bridge.
Course.
So when they so they chose that bridge because it's notorious for people committing suicide on that bridge, and they have huge barbed wire fences along the sides of the bridge. So that's what those barbed wire fences are for to keep people from jumping over and
but it
suicide. looks like
Resident Evil stuff.
Yeah, yeah. That's why they
crowd control.
Yeah,
that's cool. Here, people throw themselves in front of trains.
Yeah, that works too.
So this is the one I had. I bought this at it was like a charity event. I got it for $1 like many years ago. But I had always been looking out for this one, which
Biohazard 2.
Yes, the Japanese version, which has your Mila Jovovich on the front, and then you got your Jill Valentine on the back. And that's one of them fancy cardboard covers. And then you got your DVD on the inside.
Right on.
But now I would actually buy another one of these so I can show both sides. I have an odd fascination with these Resident Evil movies. I don't own all of them, but I'm slowly picking up.
You can find them for cheap, that's for sure.
Yes, and I don't know why, but I really like the covers. It's just Mila Jovovich. Like, here's look at this part 5 one.
Oh yeah,
it's got. They like. I really like these images for some reason, and then you slip it out, and then she's in there, and it opens up, and look at all that stuff in there.
Wow, you got stuff.
There's stuff. Yep. There's like there's some stupid like anime drawing card in here, and it's got some kind of Umbrella Corporation garbage and advertisements for stupid games I'll never play. And it's got a DVD and a Blu-ray of a movie that's not very good.
Oh, Blu-ray. Yeah. Very nice. Rocket Sauce says the movies are odd because they stink.
Yeah, they're not good.
No.
They're not good. They aren't unwatchable, though. That's the weird thing.
I think they're stupid fun. You know?
Yeah.
Like when Jill Valentine walks into the room and she starts shooting everything up, and it's so stupid.
Look at this one. This is one of them
Afterlife.
steel casey things. It's got a thing on the back. I don't know what that is.
Wow.
It's on there.
You got some crazy stuff over there.
Yeah. Well, you can get these steel book casey things there. I have this on DVD too. Is this going to be the show stuff show? Because I can show this. Look at this. I just got a Raiders.
Oh, nice.
The 40th one, and look at that. Take a minute to soak that in.
It says Raiders.
That's right.
Ark. Doesn't say Indiana Jones.
Indiana Jones.
That's good.
Indiana Raiders.
I had no idea they did that on Blu-ray. I thought it because they changed the branding in the 90s, right?
Right. Well, this one just came out. It's got the little 40th anniversary sticker thing on there.
Oh, right. Okay.
That's the nice thing is occasionally you can find a Region 1 Blu-ray or DVD that shows up here on Amazon. So I grab them when I see them. I'm just going to start showing stuff because nobody's stopping me. I also found this in the shop. Look at that.
Ooh, Firefly. Right on.
I've never seen this, but I found it for $5 in a thrift shop, and it's the U.S. or North American release.
Well, you should watch that.
I will, eventually. I just watched Ghostbusters 2 yesterday with my kids.
Oh, they've been playing that on TV with Halloween.
You know what I realized? Ghostbusters 2 is a better, lesser sequel than Return of the Jedi.
Well, you get better for longer. I mean, I think Ghostbusters 2 is a solid movie until you get to the walking Statue of Liberty. That's where it starts to kind of
the part where it falls for me is when Janine and Lewis are leaving the building to go babysit, and that's when it just introduces silly side plot and you're derailed from the main thrust of the movie.
The movie definitely does suffer from we gotta give Lewis Tully something to do, and we gotta give Janine something to do because they don't really have.
Yeah, they didn't have anything important to do, and there weren't enough oddball scenes of them. I mean, in the end credits, they got like Janine like getting ghost traps handed to her, and she's walking off them. They could have like spliced a little bit of that into the main movie.
If you read the novelization, there was a lot that was cut out that built up to them getting together.
Yeah, it does just come out of nowhere, and then suddenly the movie gets very silly after that point. That's when you get the ghost train scene. There's a lot of
I like the ghost train.
The subtle silly from the beginning, but then it gets kind of like ultra silly towards the end.
I like the ghost train.
I like the ghost train, but it is a sillier moment compared to how the comedy was played earlier with Egon, turning up the temperature on the people waiting for their marriage counseling and stuff.
Okay.
Film looks good though. Looks good in Blu-ray.
People are already looking forward to your Firefly review. So,
well, that's going to take a little time. I'll give you my review of the cover of Ghostbusters 2. This is awful. This is like the worst cover I've ever seen.
Yeah, I don't get it. I don't know why they went that way.
It's terrible.
Okay, we still got a lot of stuff here. We got a lot of stuff to talk about.
What do we
What? So you watch The Adventures of Pluto Nash?
Yes, that was the thing.
Why would you do this?
Well, because
you got it on DVD.
I found a copy on DVD when I was out shopping.
Okay.
And I really liked the cover. I liked the whole retro futurism, Duck Dodgers in the 24th century kind of look that this thing has.
Yeah.
And I know it's directed by Ron Underwood, who did Tremors and City Slickers.
Okay.
The perfect Tremors and the pretty really good City Slickers.
Okay.
But I know that this was one of the biggest box office bombs of all time. And it's like, it can't be that bad. Maybe it's people blowing it out. Like, for a movie to bomb, it doesn't mean it's bad. It just means it didn't do well for whatever reason. It could have been marketed poorly. So I was like, all right, I like Eddie Murphy in some things. I like the work that Ron Underwood did, and I couldn't tell who else was in this, but Rosario Dawson's in it. You got crazy Randy Quaid in there. So like, I'll give it a shot. And the movie is just boring. It is so boring. It's apparently, from what I've read after watching it, is that it suffered from being one of those scripts that just was passed around and passed around and passed around to the point that it resembled nothing of what it originally was. It's just been rewritten by so many different people, and then directors get attached, and then they break away, and then finally, when this production went underway, Eddie Murphy kind of took control, and he was determined for it to be like a Beverly Hills Cop vibe, where the story is kind of straight, and then he is just the comedic element rather than having comedy infused with the script. So he would be rewriting it, and huge mess. It killed Ron Underwood's movie career, because after this, he just started doing TV and, director for hire kind of stuff.
Well, part of the reason why it bombed so badly is because it cost so much, right? It had a huge
It's an expensive
budget.
movie.
Yeah, like there was a lot of effects and whatnot.
This is like over 100 million way back when, before the days of the big Marvel movies.
So that's not good for a director, because a director is one of his jobs is to keep everything moving and under budget,
Yeah.
So, well, I've never had any desire to see it. The marketing for it was just all over the place, and I was just like,
well, you're not missing anything. I couldn't even tell you, like, well, you might want to check out this scene or anything like that. It's just not worth it.
No bueno. And I felt that did that come out before or after Men in Black? Because it felt like it was going for that kind of vibe too, just from the marketing of
Men in Black was like 97.
I think so.
2002.
Yeah. So they probably already did 2 Men in Black movies. So that's what I remember from it. They couldn't get Eddie Murphy in a Men in Black movie, so he just made a Men in Black movie instead.
They got Michael Jackson
in Men in Black.
He did a cameo, yeah, in 2 or 3 or something like that.
I don't think I've ever seen any of the sequels.
Don't.
I was a huge fan of the first movie. I enjoyed it. I think the first movie is really
movie is really good. Tommy Lee Jones is great in it. What's it? Kingpin. What's his name? Vincent D'Onofrio. He's really funny in it.
Yeah.
Will Smith is Will Smith. But it's a good movie.
But then the sequels came out. I had no desire. I just had no desire.
2 is awful. 3 I saw on an airplane. That was awful.
Losing the Q Dogs.
Oh,
gotta do mom stuff. Okay. You wanted to talk about DVDs?
Well, that's what I was. Oh, didn't we talk about that?
I don't know. It says our DVDs retro price.
Yeah, because that's the thing. I've noticed that the prices of secondhand Blu-rays and even just buying them new has dropped considerably where I am over the past year or so. So that's why I've been finally switching over. But I've noticed that quite often you'll find a Blu-ray and a DVD, and they'll be the same price or really close to the same price. But then occasionally you do find DVDs that are just really expensive. Suddenly like couple bucks, and then it'll be 1,000 yen or 2,000 yen, 3,000 yen for some of these DVDs. I'm like, is this because it like limited run, low production order, whatever? Is it because it's older now? So I'm just curious if DVDs in your area are becoming a retro thing. But no, you said they're
not yet. Like
$2,
probably
$3.
Yeah, probably at some point they might be, but not yet. I don't think it has that nostalgia tie yet. But I have noticed that the prices have dropped on Blu-rays in particular, and I think it's just people dumping out of their collections.
Yeah, well, I can understand it because of streaming now.
Right.
You figure I don't know the numbers, but I imagine that they sell more movies than they do video games, right?
Oh
When a
yeah. Well,
movie
they only
comes out, they pump out so many DVDs and Blu-rays, they're all over the place.
Mhm.
Video games still kind of a smaller
Yep.
market.
Yep.
So years later, when you want to get that stuff back, most people who watch movies are just going to Netflix or going to Amazon, just streaming everything. But not everything is there. So if you want the movie, you got to sometimes get a physical copy. But if there's so many out there, I don't know, I'm just wondering if movies are ever going to get to, those crazy aftermarket prices.
Well, like for instance, for the longest time, I had a bunch of Disney movies in my Amazon wish list because I was waiting for them to drop in price. Because Sarah had asked me, like, she's like, she had like a list of 5 that she really wanted. So I waited for them to drop in price or whatever, and I got her like The Lion King and Beauty and the Beast and a few others and that, because you would go out and you would never find Disney stuff, like Disney
Disney
movies
tax is high.
and the Blu-rays or DVDs, never find it. But once that Disney Plus came on, like we just went today, and it was like someone dumped out of their Disney collection, and they had like it was just regular Blu-ray. It wasn't 4K or anything like that. But a bunch of them were there. I bought one. I bought Tangled because I hear it's good, and I was like, well, for $3, let's see if this one's good. And then when I got home,
$3.
Yeah. Then when I got home, I'm like, I think I got that on Disney Plus because I got access to Disney Plus
I'm sure you
through a
do.
friend, so it's probably there. But I don't know, whatever. Anyways, I hear it's good.
For $3, I'd pick it up. Yeah, I look
don't
at the
think
Disney movies for my kids once in a while, and those are the ones that are so hard to go down. You still see them for like $20, and like it's like Aladdin came out like 30 years ago.
Yeah.
Why is it $30?
Disney tax, man. Rocket Sauce is streaming in 4K
Yeah.
UHD Blu-rays. I don't think 4K discs though are really killing the other two market, as we saw in past episodes of Retro Fandango. When I showed that pie chart, DVDs still dominate the physical movies. Like
I looked up something the other day to see like new releases. I never thought to check like what are new releases coming out on Blu-ray and Ultra whatever, and there was a listing, and it was like, okay, 4K remastered, 30th anniversary, blah blah blah, all this, and then there was just a flood of DVDs of like all kid shows, and just pump out DVDs. They're cheap.
Yeah.
Just get them out there. Get them out there.
Well, part of it is the licensing with the Blu-rays and 4K. You got to go through Sony. So, like you got to go through Sony for their. It's really just a software that's on there. It's some sort of JavaScript or something that they have to get access to. So Sony takes a stipend from it. Whereas DVDs, anyone can make a DVD. It doesn't matter. There's no restriction on it. So you can make a DVD really cheap, and put product on the shelf for people to buy. Whereas, Blu-rays, you can't do that. You got to go through that extra step. And for a lot of companies, it's just not worth it. And at the end of the day, Blu-rays do not sell as much as DVDs do. But that's just because it's accessible to people. Like people have DVD players. They don't really care about HD or whatever. They just want to put the disc in and watch.
Depends like on the TV you're using, unless you're using a pretty significantly sized TV with like a really nice picture quality, you'll notice that
for
much.
most people, DVD is good enough. They just don't care. They're like, what? Oh, I could spend $10 on this DVD or $11 on this Blu-ray. Well, I'm going to save myself $1 because I don't really care. I don't really see the difference or whatever. So, and that's why, because DVD sells so much. Like I think, like that's why they just priced everything at the Mission Thrift for $3, because Blu-rays just sit there forever because it's a bit of a niche market. Whereas DVDs fly off the shelf more often. I mean, don't get me wrong. It's a lot of old people that are shopping there too, right? It is a church mission thrift, and they just don't care. They got it. They got their DVD player. It works. They put a disc in. They don't want anything else. They don't want the newfangled technology or anything. So
I get the warning if I buy one. at a secondhand shop.
Yeah.
I gotta go up with a Blu-ray, and they're like,
right.
"This is a Blu-ray. Is that okay?" Yeah, that's all right.
Yeah. Well, and then oh fuck, I can't remember what I was going to say. Anyways, there you go.
All right, go buy
Yep.
your VHS tapes.
Yep. We're talking about DVDs.
I will admit,
Blu-rays
though, if I saw Resident Evil on VHS, I'd probably pick it up.
No, you wouldn't. Come on.
Just to stick it there. If it had a nice cover.
That virus is just spreading, man. It's just spreading. Well,
Ooh, yes.
I did show this on Bill's show, but I did end up.
You bought a VHS tape.
I was looking for VHS for Bill.
You bought a VHS tape.
He wasn't turning down everything, but I found
this.
You
talk.
Cannonball. But it's still sealed.
Oh.
And it has the Kmart sticker on it.
You make whatever excuses you want as to why it was okay to buy that VHS tape.
So I have my shame pile there too.
I've got Star Wars. It's the only VHS I have. I
got those two right here.
I think you got the fancier version than I do. You got the widescreen.
No, these are like before THX.
Oh, versions. That's a neat cover. I think maybe that is the one that I have. Oh yeah. Those are the ones that came in the 3-pack. That's what I have. I got the box for it though.
They're original cuts. Yeah. Oh, that's what I wanted to say. Toku Joe says Blu-rays have gone into more of a collector's market, which is good in some ways because you have boutique labels releasing more niche titles to appeal to the nerds. That's what I wanted to say. Yeah, like you got Arrow and your Show Factory and stuff like that.
Yep.
You know, like that RoboCop release. That was an Arrow release. You know, that had all Tremors and stuff like that. Yeah.
Thank you for mentioning that because I forgot to. You mentioned you might hold on to RoboCop for me. And
you found it.
My wife bought it for me for my birthday, so I have. That.
There you go. That's the exact copy I was gonna give you.
Very much, but my wife was nice to me.
Cool. All right. Oh yeah, time machines. I wanted to talk about time machines. That was the title of the episode, so I guess we better get to it. So the other day I put a poll out on Twitter asking people what is the best time machine, and I listed, some of my favorite time machines in cinema.
Mm-hmm.
And what they are, I can't remember right now. So let me see. I had the DeLorean there, of course.
Of course.
I had the phone booth from Bill and Ted.
Of course.
I had Doctor Who's TARDIS.
Did they do a movie of Doctor Who? Because you just said cinema.
Well, I guess technically I'm safe because there are 2 Doctor Who movies out there. There was one that was released in the 60s. That was like a side thing from the TV show, and then there was a movie released in 1995 that is canon with the rest of the series. I hate trying to find my Twitter polls on Twitter.
Yeah, they don't make them very easy. You get a notice when it expires. Like, you never see it again.
Where is that?
So what's the point of all this? I imagine it's because you have stumbled across some time machine that you think is cooler than all of the ones that people normally think of.
No. I was just thinking. Okay, so what I was. Okay, well, how am I gonna?
Because you obviously people are gonna say like the time vehicle from Back to the Future, or
right?
The phone booth or the TARDIS.
That's the thing. It just kind of shows you how ridiculous polls are. And how ridiculous voting is because people, they just went with like the time machine that they wanted to have a beer with, right? That's a time machine I can have a beer with. And they went right with the DeLorean right away. So the majority of people picked the DeLorean because it is the coolest.
It's the coolest. It's the biggest spectacle of, having a race up and leaving those flame tracks. That's awesome.
Right. I'm almost there. I almost found it.
Can you not continue your conversation without staring at the poll?
I am a man and I cannot multitask. Multitasking is great for other people.
If you need time for that, I can try to find out when Tom Cruise hidden in a bathtub?
No, you can't.
I'll try it right now.
You can't find it. Let's see. Is this
Tom
it?
Cruise
No,
hides in a
that's not it.
bathtub movie.
I'm at the Tremors podcast tweet. No, I can't find it. I don't know. It doesn't matter. Anyways,
The best bath scene, Mission Impossible 2. He is in a bathtub in Mission Impossible 2. I was right.
well, then he's also in a bathtub in Minority Report
And apparently Jack Reacher.
and Jack Reacher, so that must be his thing.
Maybe he just has his own private bath that he has on set. And some days they can't get him out of it. Like, we'll just shoot the scene here.
Okay, this is okay. So this was the poll. I finally found it. So we had the DeLorean, the TARDIS, phone booth. And then I went with I was thinking about Star Trek time travel, and I just went with the bird of prey, right?
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So out of the 35 people who voted, 54.3% picked the DeLorean.
Mm-hmm.
28.6% picked the TARDIS.
Mm-hmm.
Only 11% picked the phone booth from Bill and Ted, and 5% picked Star Trek's Bird of Prey.
I believe all of those numbers to be pretty accurate. What you would get if you asked a general audience,
right?
Yeah.
But here's the thing: I asked what the best time machine is, and you have to think in terms of if you were stuck. Say you were stuck 100 years in the past, and you needed a time machine to get you back to your time. You don't want to be stuck 100 years in the past. What would you pick? Would you pick the DeLorean? Would you pick the TARDIS? Would you pick the phone booth? Or would you pick the Bird of Prey? See, if I worded the question like that, I think I would get a whole set of different answers.
Right. Well,
because
okay.
The time machine that is the most reliable out of all those, and I think you're going to like this answer, is the phone booth from Bill and Ted.
I was thinking it's probably... Well, I don't know anything about the TARDIS. I've not seen Doctor Who, so that is also a phone booth thing. Because my initial thought...
Hold on, I got to stop you there because the TARDIS is not a phone booth.
Okay, well, explain it to me.
The TARDIS it's a ship that is in disguise as a police box.
Okay.
A London police box. It has a chameleon circuit in it that is supposed to allow it to hide as anything it gets. So if it is in, like, say it was in now, it would hide itself as, I don't like an Apple store or something like that. It just has the ability to hide, disguise itself, but its chameleon circuit is broken. So when you took it to 1960s London, it broke and it disguised itself as a police box and it's stuck as that thing.
Okay.
Anyways, what I was thinking about is that in the Bill and Ted movies, the clever thing that they never do in those movies, because if you think of any time travel movie, the thing is that the time travel device, the machine, isn't working. That's always like the cliche. Like they need to get to a time thing, but it's not working right. It's not. But they never went to that in Bill and Ted. But then I was thinking in Star Trek 4, they went back in time. But of course, they had to get all that stuff. They had to get some power to get back in normal time. Plus, you needed Spock's calculations to get you through all that, right? To figure all that stuff out. Whereas the phone booth in Bill and Ted, all you needed was the phone book, right? You just go in it, you look at the phone book. Oh, it's, this is the thing, punch in the number, and you're at that time. And they're the only time travel movies that I can think of that never use the time machine. As with all the time traveling that they do in those movies, they never use that as a plot device, that the machine itself isn't working.
There was a scene in the first one where it wasn't working. They very briefly got stuck after they captured all of the historical figures. They're all standing out of the booth because there's too many people, and they say they think the booth is broken. They stop it in right,
because the antenna was cracking. They
use bubble gum and pudding cans to fix the top.
Right. Okay.
It wasn't a major thing though. It was just kind of like a quick scene.
Right. But for
It
the most
wasn't
part,
the third act drama.
for the most part, the thing is reliable technology from the future that they use in the future all the time. And it's so reliable that all Bill and Ted all they have to do is think of something, and they just have to remind themselves to do it in the future, so they can get through things.
Well, yeah, when you said which is the more reliable, which one would get you out of a jam, it's like, yeah, okay, the DeLorean got to have gas.
You got to get up to 88
space.
miles per hour. So you got to have 1.21 gigawatts of power.
Well, once it gets the future refit and it can fly, that makes it a bit easier.
It still left them stranded in 1885.
Well, there was an accident there. Hit by lightning. You can have an accident with the phone booth too. You could lose the book.
I'm saying it's more reliable.
It's made out of paper.
I'm not saying it's 100%.
What if it rains?
Foolproof. I'm not saying it's foolproof. I'm saying it's more reliable.
Reliable.
If you were stuck in a time where you did not want to be in and you wanted to get back home, which device would you pick?
Well, you might be left in the dust here because you said you stopped reading the Harry Potter books, but there is a device in the Harry Potter universe called the Time Turner, which is basically a pocket watch that you wrap around yourself and use that to travel through time.
Yeah, I don't watch Harry Potter,
no batteries.
So it
sticks it right in your pocket.
Okay. No, I don't watch Harry Potter, so that doesn't count. And Harry Potter's magic, right? It's not a machine. They do it through magic, or is it an actual machine?
It's a watch. I don't know.
Does it need magic? I'm canceling out any magic.
Curtis on my side.
Curtis doesn't know anything. I do a podcast with him now. I've learned that he doesn't know anything unless he agrees with me. Then
all right, I'll be careful not to mention that to him.
Don't let him know. Keep it between us, okay? He doesn't know anything.
No problem.
All right. There you go. Anyways, out of those four, let's just say out of those four, I think the phone booth. Because the TARDIS is a little iffy too. It doesn't always take him exactly where he is. They're kind of like in the show, you're never 100% sure if he made a mistake because he's too arrogant to admit that he could make a mistake, or you never know if it's the actual machine.
You could have the Enterprise E because they followed the Borg sphere.
Yeah, again, that was the Borg doing the time travel thing.
But at the end, they said, "Oh, we found a way to reproduce that, so now we can go back home." And we hid behind the moon, so the Vulcans didn't know we were here.
Yeah,
we were physically hiding behind the moon.
You know, I disqualified any movie that sucks. Okay, so no, it doesn't work.
There was a movie called Hot Tub Time Machine.
I did think about putting the hot tub in there.
I never saw that.
Yeah, it's okay. It's fine, but I don't remember enough of it to actually include it. But anyways, all right.
Child's Play. You watched the Mark Hamill one?
Oh yeah. Okay, so yeah, I watched the remake, and I 100% understand why you didn't like it, because it's kids and you don't like kids, and they were grouping together against Chucky, right? Yeah. Yeah. I thought it was okay. I thought it was fine. It would have been better if it had nothing to do with Child's Play. If it was just its own thing.
It's further away. It's basically Brad Dourif's version of Chucky, is kind of the heart of those movies. So basically taking that away and then replacing him with somebody else who has a different take on it, it's just pointless. It's just
I thought his
pointless remakes.
I thought Mark Hamill's character was fine. It just wasn't Chucky.
Like it wasn't Chucky.
Yeah, if it was a different character, if it was just a different movie, if it wasn't a Child's Play movie. Oh, Curtis asked, what about the naked energy ball and the Terminator movies? Naked. I didn't include it because, well, yeah, one, you got to get naked. Two, it's only a one-way trip.
Yeah, you got to have
So
somebody else operate it,
yeah,
and
so no, it was
you're
no
not
good.
coming back. You
Yeah,
basically only work from the machine.
right. So it's no good. No bueno.
Hmm.
There you go. Plus, I don't want to get naked.
Yeah.
Not in front of
But
you.
you get to do that cool pose though.
Yeah, just you just show your side bum.
Next time you're about to get in the shower, after you strip down, do that Terminator pose. See how cool you feel.
Okay, I don't think I will, but I'll imagine it.
For everyone
Anyways,
listening, that's your assignment.
Child's Play remake was okay. Just if you go into it not thinking of it as a Child's Play movie, just think of it as its own thing. I thought it was okay. I thought it was pretty good. But as it like that
I
character that
I did like how Chucky was confused. They had the thing at the beginning where his programming is all messed up, like all the safeguards. It's like the Krusty the Clown doll. Somebody said it to evil.
well, it's funny too how I think in the 80s we had a better grasp of who the bad guys were than we do today. I think
Hmm.
today they have indoctrinated all of humanity, especially us in this part of the world, with all of the so much guilt that we feel as if we are responsible for everything that is wrong in this world. In the 80s, what did you have? The first movie, it was a serial killer. He was the bad guy. He put himself, his conscience, inside of a doll, and that was the bad guy. In the
Hmm.
second movie, who was the bad guy? A big evil corporation that put its own interests above people. Yeah, that's who the bad guys are. In this movie, who's the bad guy? Well, we're exploiting all the people overseas by making these dolls, and that's what ended up creating Chucky. So we're the bad guys. Like, no, come on. We in the 80s we knew who the bad guys were, and we got to get back to that.
OCP, Skynet.
Yeah, that's who the evil people were. Monopolies and corporations and serial killers. That's it.
Hans
It's not
Gruber.
us. We gotta forgive ourselves for like I don't put myself in the situation where I gotta drive, 35 minutes a day to work and use burning up fossil fuels both ways. I didn't do that. That's society. That's the way that they designed everything. They put these friggin' suburbs all over the place and made it so I can only afford a house out there and have to drive into work every day. I do the
Well, they
best I
also
can. I
sell
got
bicycles, and whose fault is it
I
for
can't
you
bike
now?
that far.
Well,
And
maybe you should hit the gym more often.
I don't think hitting the gym would get me to a point where I could bike that far. My knees would explode. I got a fuel efficient car. I don't buy a big SUV. I'm doing the best I can. But geez, like these movies, they just want to make you feel bad for because you wanted to buy a doll for your kid and created the friggin' Chucky. Like, come on, relax, people, relax. Take it easy. We gotta stop, blaming ourselves for everything and realize that who the real bad guys are. So look at the 80s Chucky movies. We want to know who the real bad guys are. And RoboCop, that's another good one. Those
Mhm.
are the bad guys, not us. Stop blaming ourselves. All right. I got more.
All right.
You want to talk about your most bizarre movie, and then I could.
Yes,
Okay.
because Curtis is here. He's probably the only person who might have seen this. I watched the most bizarre movie that I've ever seen in my life, and I was looking around on Tubi, as I do occasionally,
Yeah.
checking out their cult movie section because that's where you find the fun stuff. And I saw Peter Weller's name pop up.
Uh
Ooh,
oh.
I like Peter Weller. And I saw Roy Scheider's name in there. Ooh, I like Roy Scheider. And that was interesting because Roy Scheider, of course, was in Jaws, and Peter
Mm-hmm.
Weller starred in Leviathan, which is basically a ripoff of Jaws. Like, oh, they're going to
Okay.
be in this together. It's a movie called Naked Lunch. It's
Oh.
a David Cronenberg film.
Yeah.
And the description was like Peter Weller, Roy Scheider, giant bugs. Like, all
Mm-hmm.
right, why not? Let's check this out. And I started watching this movie. I had no idea what was going on, but it was a well-made film. You know, it looked great. The actors were really they were dedicated to this material. They were giving it their all. Really good performances, some nice lighting, some great special effects and props. I just kept thinking, if I watch 5 minutes more, I'm gonna understand what's going on. They're gonna let that shoe drop, and I'm gonna figure this out. By the end of the movie, I was scratching my head. I didn't know what way was up. I couldn't tell you what the main goal of this film was. I had to look it up afterwards and like, oh, it's from a book and social commentary and this and that. And basically just a writer who hallucinates. And man, that was some weird movie.
Cronenberg is the Canadian Terry Gilliam. I want to.
I was
like
thinking
those
a lot of
movies.
Terry Gilliam as I was watching this.
I want to like those movies so much, but it's just all over my head. I don't get any of it. I need a simple story, man. I'm not intelligent enough to understand all that stuff.
Oh, Toku Joe with the Simpsons references.
I can think of at least two things wrong with
that title. Come on, Rocket Sauce, where are you? That was supposed to be yours.
Oh, Curtis says haven't seen the Naked Lunch, but he's had it.
You might want to check that out, Curtis, because it is a wild ride. Really quality filmmaking though. Like it's interesting.
He probably should be a cinematographer rather than
really interesting. Although sometimes they had some really cheap sets, which I know is a Cronenberg thing. You just use what's available. It kind of looked like they were on the Planet of the Apes set. Just rocky cliffs and things. Weird movie.
All right, there you go.
I can't even try to describe it.
Well, I watched some movies other than Child's Play. I finally watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
The original?
Yeah, the original.
I have. I think I've seen it twice.
I thought it was okay. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah,
as far as slasher movies go,
It's a slasher movie with a message, like a clear, understandable message.
What was the message?
Because it was commentary on the meat market and how we slaughter cows and things. That's why there's all the footage of the cows at the beginning and how the kids are like clubbed over the head and eaten.
Yeah. I thought that was just kind of the foreshadowing thing that they were doing. Like he's telling the story of the bolt thing. So when you see it later in the movie, you know what it's designed for, kind of thing. Mm-hmm. That they do a lot in movies. But okay, sure. All right. I'll give you that. Yeah, I thought it like I'm not a big slasher guy. I'm not a big, horror guy. I'm not an expert at it, but as a movie, I thought it was pretty good. There was some genuine tension there as when he was chasing the girl through the woods and stuff. And I liked too how like the people in the movie weren't that stupid. Like they were trying to find their friends and they all go in, like they go into this house one at a time, but the house is kind of like, it doesn't have like a warning sign right at the beginning, like, hey, don't go in there. Right. So they go in there and they end up in that room and Leatherface cuts them up. And so I don't know. I thought it was okay. And then I watched Texas Chainsaw Massacre Part 2. Have you ever seen that?
That I've never seen.
Wow, that is a movie. That is a movie where I don't know what the heck it's trying to be. It is ridiculous. It seems like I bet you Toku Joe loves that movie because it just seems out there. Like, so it's a slasher film made by the guy who did the first one, but this one he seems to just want to sort of make a comedy, but he kind of only goes like, it's not like Gremlins 2 where Joe Dante just went all out and was breaking the fourth wall and all that stuff, whereas this one's just kind of weird. Like it's just weird. It's and gets dumb and here's the problem with it. It kind of just follows the same beats as the first movie, but in a jokey way kind of thing. And then like at the end, like it's really the same.
So is it kind of like all the Nightmare on Elm Street and Jason where they just started getting silly after a while?
I guess so. But this went like, at least Jason, there was like a decline. Like there was movies before you got to that point, right? Or this is just like, it was like a 90-degree turn right when you got to that.
What year was that made?
mid 80s, like 85, 86 or something
Mid
like that.
80s. All right.
Yeah.
So that is after he had worked on Poltergeist
Yes. I think
with
this was his follow-up to
Spielberg.
Poltergeist.
So, Poltergeist got kind of silly.
Yeah.
And maybe he just got influenced by the style of the time.
Yeah.
Or maybe
Well,
that's what he wanted from the beginning, but he just I don't know.
like Dennis Hopper, like he's the uncle of the kids who got killed in the first movie. So he's on a revenge mission because the family somehow slid through the cracks and didn't get arrested or anything like that. None of their antics got. So they're still able to do their. If you haven't seen the first one, it's a group of cannibals who are really killing all these people. And Leatherface is their guy that goes out and kills them and then brings them back and they eat them. And in this one, like they're still able to do it's kind of funny at the start. He's actually in a chili contest, so that the chili he's making is from human meat and he wins the contest, with the, so yeah, it's like one of those things like, okay, yeah, that's kind of funny, I guess, but like it doesn't really, and then Dennis Hopper he's the uncle. And he goes after Leatherface with the chainsaw, and it's like, why wouldn't you go in like with guns and just shoot him? And he's got like he goes in and he buys like this big chainsaw to swing around. Then he buys these other two chainsaws to keep that in his pockets to zip out and that thing. Yeah, I bet you Tokujo would like this one. He hasn't seen it yet.
You got him hooked.
It's
how many
out
of those
there, man.
Texas Chainsaw movies have there been? I know they did like a remake.
Yeah, there's a bunch. We were done after the second one, though. We're like, okay, we don't need to see any more of these.
I don't know. Leatherface never struck me as a fun movie villain the way Freddy or Chucky are. Leatherface just seemed kind of gross.
He is a little bit gross, and like he's kind of he's just dumb, right? Like he's like the dumb brother that goes.
He's
out
the baby Huey.
Yeah.
He just kind of does what his demented family tells him.
Yeah. But it's funny in the second movie. You remember when George Wendt on Cheers had like that hair? He had sort of like a little mushroom haircut for a while. His haircut kind of looked like that in the second movie. So he looked a lot like George Wendt. Like it looked like George because he's a big fat guy, right? It just looks like George Wendt with a mask and a chainsaw. And then the girl that they got in that movie, she kind of looked like Laurie Metcalf. So it just looked like it was like a reunion of 80 sitcoms. I finally watched the movie 8-Legged Freaks.
Ew, why?
Well, it looked like I really liked the movie Them from the 40s, and this looked like
Big Ants,
right? And this looked like something that would be in that vein. You got these giant spiders that are terrorizing this small town, and I thought I was hoping that I'd be able to go into it and really enjoy it, like Tremors. But the movie's not that good. It's
I've never seen it. It's just the way it was marketed, the title, David Arquette. It just didn't seem like something I wanted to watch.
I mean, it's not terrible. It's not bad. It's just bland. Like really nothing. Like none of the characters are that interesting, and it just these spiders come attack and they're all CG. Everything is CG, and it's that bad early 2000 CG.
Have you ever seen Arachnophobia?
A long time ago, like when it first came out, and I remember
I saw that in the theater.
I saw it as a kid, and I remember not liking it. So I don't know.
I really don't remember anything about it other than John Goodman says rock and roll. That was in the trailer.
Okay.
But I can't remember if that was like little animatronic spiders or real spiders or what they did in that.
I don't remember. I don't know. All I know is the spiders in this movie were like bad CG, and like not even like they didn't even like mix it up a little bit. Like, okay, use it for some far away if the spider was close up or far away or whatever, it was CG. So if they had more interesting characters in it, might have been better, but yeah.
The only reason Arachnophobia is in my head is just because I'm still watching Seinfeld. I'm up to season 6 now.
Yep.
And that shelf in the back of Jerry's apartment, the first couple seasons, it's just VHS tapes with like handwritten labels. But then by season 5, he starts getting like legitimate copies of movies.
Yeah.
He's got Child's Play and he's got Arachnophobia.
Oh.
And as I watch through, I'm trying to see what all the other titles are.
I guess
I'm
you
sure
could
I could
see
just
that
Google
now.
it.
Like
Yeah,
back
it's
in
a little.
the SD days, that would be hard to read all that stuff. But
Yeah, so I'm really just trying to check out all the little details in the back now.
How much time we got here? Oh, we're running a little. Okay, I'll get to a movie I think you would like. It's called Unleashed. It's with Jet Li, Bob Hoskins,
Really?
yeah, and Morgan Freeman. And
Wow.
I did not think that this movie would be very good. I thought that Morgan Freeman and Hoskins would they needed a paycheck or something like that. Now it's not great. It's not a great movie.
Oh, okay. I know this is Danny the Dog.
Yeah. Okay, that's right. That's like
I remember hearing that title. I don't know anything about the movie, just the title.
Right. Yeah. In some areas, it's called Danny. That's actually the original title that they wanted to call it here, but the movie studio had to step in and say, no, we're going to call it Unleashed. But if you got a chance to watch it for on the cheap, I would check it out. It was actually pretty good. It was one of those things where, it's a fairly average story, but Hoskins and Freeman kind of elevate the material a little bit just because it's them. And Hoskins playing this really fun character who's like this boss that he gets Jet Li when he's young, and he's able to, through some sort of psychology, he keeps this dog leash on him. And if the dog leash is on him, he's like meek, like he won't fight or anything like that. He follows instructions, but he doesn't like do anything violent. And then once Bob Hoskins takes the leash off of him, that's when he could get him to fight for him, and he could beat anybody, right? Because he's Jet Li and he just has all the kung fu skills and that. So like, even big giant guys that are muscle guys, they fall to the Jet Li because he knows where to kick them and where to kill them and stuff like that. So it was entertaining for what it was. It was like an hour and 30-ish minutes, hour 35, which I think falls into your window of an accessible time. 103 minutes. Okay, so it's a little longer than that, but still,
that's acceptable.
Still, it was pretty good. So I got to watch that on my HD DVD and some good audio on that.
Speaking of Jet Li movies, have you ever seen Romeo Must Die?
I just bought it on DVD, so I haven't seen it yet.
Okay, because that I've noticed is on Netflix in my area. And I was like, I don't know. I'll check with you first because you tend to watch those things.
I haven't seen that one yet, but I do want to watch it. I was going to watch it, but it has Aaliyah in it, who she's some singer or something that I don't know. Is
she the one that's in that Queen of the Damned vampire movie?
I don't know,
because I see the cover for that movie. I don't even know where I see it, but I see it all the time.
Well, Sarah saw that name on the cover and she's like, "Oh, I want to see that." So I've been waiting to watch it with her.
Okay.
So that's the only reason why I haven't got to it yet.
Well, if you think you're going to watch that soon, maybe I'll watch it too, and we can talk about it next time.
All right. Well, let's do it. I think we will watch it before we record next. So there we go. Right on. Yeah.
Ooh, Mighty Q Dog jumped in. Arachnophobia, Real Spiders with One Animatronic by Jamie H. from Mythbusters. I don't know anything about Mythbusters.
Well, there you go. I don't know. I remember watching it when I was a kid and I was bored. But, when I was a kid, I don't know.
I'm guessing the animatronic one is the main spider because I do remember how Jeff Bridges defeats the main spider.
I don't remember a thing from that movie.
Spiders in the house.
Spiders in the house.
They just try. Well, I guess they did. John Goodman's the exterminator. Just try fumigating.
Who did that? Who directed that one?
I don't know.
Oh, I thought you had it up. I thought you were looking at it.
Arachnophobia.
I don't know how to spell arachnophobia.
Directed by Frank Marshall.
Frank Marshall?
Frank Marshall. He's one of those Spielberg guys.
Oh, Oh yeah, that was like Spielberg had his name tied to that, right? But it wasn't really a Spielberg movie. It was like as a producer or something.
Kathleen Kennedy is his wife. Okay. I hear these names all the time. I don't know their inner workings.
Okay, I think we're done. We've recorded enough to appease the fans. All those fans. We got 6 people watching right now. 2 if we count the Q Dog, so 7. There we go.
Hey.
Follow us.
Mighty Q Dog seems to know a lot about arachnophobia.
On Twitter at retro_Fandango. Get a boner with Retro Fandango. Maybe we'll bring back that soundboard at some point. Who knows?
That's what you keep been saying.
Check out our Discord. Why not? Throw that ghost town a bone. I don't know how the Duke and Chris Roberts got the corner on Discord. Like it's like that's the happening place. That's the place. That's what's happening.
They go there and they talk and they post things.
Interact. Yeah.
Interact. That's the thing.
Yeah. And that's it. You want to see my new glasses?
You got new glasses?
What do you think?
Lean a little bit closer or put yourself in zoom in.
How do I do that again? There we go. There you go. See,
all right, new.
These are the old
classic,
ones.
Classic, right? Okay.
Classic Mars. These are the new ones.
They're pretty similar, aren't they?
Yeah, they are. So, but these have the where I can read. They got the what they call it. It's like far up here and near up here, so I can read now.
Oh, bifocals.
Well,
those are called bifocal.
They call them something
Grandpa
else
glasses
because they don't want. So I can read now. Like look how small this writing is here. You can't even see it. There, look how small. That's tiny writing.
I cannot see that. No.
Computer hardware configuration requirements: CPU, CP, an i5, a 3400 or above, graphics card, PC, NVIDIA GT 630 or above. Doesn't give me the AMD number, so.
All right, let's see if you can read anything from the back of this.
Can I do a solo layout on you? Oh, that's all fuzzy though. Well, it says sharp and funny, a savage comedy, sharp and funny. Fasten your ergonomic.
Ergonomic.
That's what I'm trying to say. Fasten your ergonomic seatbelt. You're in for a hilarious ride through the inner workings of Office Space. The outrageous hit.
Oh, sorry.
I was having fun reading.
I believe
Progressives. See, Mrs. Q Dog knows it. She knows all the
progressives. That's what they call.
Yeah, that's what they call
senior citizen glasses now.
That's right. She knows all the old people lingo because she takes care of Eric. Okay. That's it, everybody.
Bailing out. Goodbye, folks.
I left you on the solo layout for that.
He knows your voice.
All right. That's it. Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.